Good morning, everyone. We have a few participants signing up, so let's give them a minute or two to settle in, and then we'll get started. Mhm. Yeah, the participants are signing in, so we just start in a bit, just in a few seconds. Okay, I think we are ready. Thank you for joining us today at this information event, Destination Brand 21 at a Glance. My name is Ellen Böhling. I'm managing partner at Inspector, and I'm your contact for Destination Brand and all issues related to this study series. My colleague Sistine Zadlowski is giving me a company today during this info session and will keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, speaking about the chat or of the chat, before we start with the presentation, I'd like to clarify a few organizational things. Today's information event will be recorded. So afterwards, we will send you the link, including a handout, and invite you to watch it again or share it also, of course, with your colleagues. And we also invite your comments and questions. So please look at the chat box on your screen. If at any time you think of a question for me, just type it in there and this team will record it for the discussion part at the end of the event. We will go through as many questions, of course, as time allows. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. Destination Brand is a cooperation project between Inspectur and the German Institute for Tourism Research. I've already introduced myself, but for those of you who don't know Inspectur, Inspectur is a tourism consulting company based in Hamburg and was founded in 2002. Since then, we've been active on the German market and since 2015 also internationally. In addition to the fields of work, strategies and master plans or regional development, as well as seminars and trainings, we have specialized in tourism research with a focus on trends, travel behaviors in main source markets, and especially in destination brand research. And our main research tool is the so-called Destination Brand Study Series, our brand research tool for measuring the customer-oriented perception of tourism destination brands in a national or international context. And this project or destination brand we are conducting in cooperation with the German Institute for Tourism Research since 2009 already. What can you expect from today's information event? I will just give you a brief introduction to our studies series, what it is about. Then, of course, we jump into Destination Brand 21 at a glance. It's about the contents, the modules, the benefits, and of course, the participation options. And at the end, we have the Q&A part, so where you can all ask your questions. So let's get started with the first part of the presentation, and let's have a closer look at the study series Destination Brand at general. Destination Brand is, as I have already said, a study series in a 5-year circle. And our study series has its origin in Germany in the year 2009. The study series was developed by the German Institute for Tourism Research, and we gave them a company just from the start in the project management area. Since 2014, the project manager is in the hand of Inspectur, and the German Institute for Tourism Research cooperates as scientific advisory board. What is the aim of this study series? The study series focuses on the measurement of the brand image with different levels and helps to find out how destinations are positioned in consumers' minds for the holiday context in a given source market and as well for selected target groups. So in the first study in 2009, we started with the evaluation of the brand value of German tourism destinations in Germany, and we then had annually changing research focus, digging deeper into the perception of the destinations. So after the first year of the study, the focus in the second year was on the theme competence to evaluate the consumers' things or thought they can do or things they can do in the destination, and for what the destination stands in the consumer's mind as well, like is it a hiking destination? Is it a city trip destination? And in the third year of the study series, we evaluate the symbolic emotional attributes of a destination, like the image. So by asking if the destination is trendy, authentic, family friendly, among others, for example. So the result of all three single studies, when considered together, to reflect the holistic brand image of the destination. We have also pilot studies um, executing right now. So there's one pilot studies on the self-image of destination, but also there's another one on the perception of destinations as a business destination. And as well, and that's the third one, a digital module are currently underway to integrate further relevant context into the study series. Since 2009, more than 500 tourism destinations from Germany and abroad have been considered and evaluated in the frame of destination brand. And since 2018, or in 2018, we took the next step and then contacted destination brand for the first time in Austria, Switzerland, and Netherlands. And then in 2019, we have included China as the next source market in our survey. And since 2020, since last year, when we started the next circle of destination brand, the fourth in total, the survey since then also takes place in France, Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, and USA. So that was just a brief overview or general overview of the study series. And now we switch to Destination Brand 21. And I will give you an overview of the contents and of course the models which are considered this year. Okay, so as already mentioned, Destination Brand is a series, a study series with different contents, all dealing with the perception of destinations. And the focus on this year's study is on the customer-oriented measurement of the theme competence. I'm just diving into it deeper just in a bit. And then again, and after 2020, we built in some general question about COVID-19 and the general travel interests again. So this year, we offer this additional module regarding the COVID-19 impact on the willingness to visit the destinations. As a third part or third module, we are including our info package on media and language use or media and language behavior. Here you can find out more about media behavior in the individual source markets with regard to information and inspiration for destinations, as well as language use in the search for information and inspiration for future destination. But as I mentioned, I will go into each module in detail in a moment. So let's continue with Destination Brand 21 and the methodology in general. The survey will take place in 10 source markets in parallel, 8 of them in Europe as Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the Netherlands, France, Spain, Italy, and the United Kingdom. But we also have further 2 markets which are the US and China. We do the field work after the registration deadline, which is the 13th of September. So from October on until December, the fieldwork takes place, and our study is representative of the local population aged 14 to 74, with the exception of China, where an online panel can only reach the urban population aged 14 to 59. So this year, we will measure the theme competence in one or more source markets for more than 150 destinations. And beyond the univariate key results and socio-demographic differentiations, which we include in the in the report with the results for each destination. We can also analyze target groups based on the xenos milieus, and also for a new benefit-orientated target group segmentation, so-called BEST, that is possible only on the German source market. So that was the general frame, and I would like now to give you some further explanations and information on the module theme competence. So the theme competence, or the basis of our theme competence study, is the three-dimensional competitor and analysis, or competitive analysis, which I would like to present to you briefly. So there's the first level, the demand side, where we make the survey of the general potential and the general interest in more than 40 holiday activities just in general. So we are asking in which activities the population of the respective sort market is interested in general, independently of a specific destination. And secondly, the second level is about the assessment of the supported theme suitability of each participating destination for a total of 10 holiday activities, 5 general and 5 freely selectable by you. And of course, we are including here as well an open top of mind query. I just give you an example just in a bit to all these levels as well. So you will get answer to the following question here in this path: for which holiday activities your destination is considered suitable by your target groups in the respective source markets, and which theme and target group combinations have the highest potential for you and your destination. And the third level is the competition. So here we are doing a comparison of the suitability of each destination in relation to all other participants in the respective source market with the respective theme. So you get the information, how do you compete with other destinations? All three dimensions together reflect the current competitive situation of your destination. As I mentioned, I'd now like to start to give you more information about each dimension. We start with the first dimension, the demand side. Here it's about the evaluation of the general interest in more than 40 holiday activities in all 10 source markets. So with the framework of Destination Brand 21, this is the analyzation of the general interest in all 10 source markets. And how we are doing this: how do we survey the general interest in these holiday activities? We are asking the following question. The following question is about your general interest in touristic holiday activities, regardless of a specific tourist destination. How interested are you in pursuing the following tourist holiday activity in your holiday with at least one overnight stay? And then, based on this question at the beginning and for an initial overview, the data is prepared for you in the report as shown here. Based on the ranking, you can get a destination independent insight primarily into the interest and holiday activities of potential guests and in the corresponding source markets during holiday in general. And this is an example from Destination Brand 18 from the South Market Germany. So you can see, for example, from the table, which are the top 5 holiday activities in Germany and which activities the Germans are less interested, for example, just in general. This is just a first overview which you get in the report, and then we can move to the second dimension with a focus on the supported and unsupported theme suitability of your destination. Here we are mirroring exactly these two topics: suitability for your destination in the selected source market. What does that mean and how do we go about it? Just have a closer look. So we start with the unsupported theme suitability. The so-called top of mind theme suitability provides information about which tourist destinations are considered particularly suitable for the respective holiday activity. And with the scope of Destination 21, this unsupported theme suitability is surveyed uniformly across all 10 source markets for a total of 5 holiday themes. And the query is made via the following question. Please imagine that you intend to go on a culinary holiday, for example. Which tourist destinations in Germany do you consider particularly suitable for this purpose? And then the respondents have the option to give up to 3 responses. Um, and we are preparing the data in such a form, which you can see here on the slide, in the top 10 ranking for each of the 5 holiday activities, and based for all respondents, but also for those with an interest in the holiday activity or respondents with a strong intention to travel abroad. So here you can see exemplary the top 10 ranking for the holiday activity culinary journey in the source market Germany from destination brand 18. Those destination brands that are in the top 10 occupy a dominant position in the mind of the respondents in general. And in this case, Bavaria is considered the most for a culinary journey, just as an example. Mm, we then switch to the supported theme suitability. In the course of this second central focus of the destination brand study, we investigate how suitable the represented population considers your destination for the respective holiday activity, completely independent of their own interest in this activity. So each destination is assessed on its suitability for a total of 10 holiday activities, which consist of the 5 general themes, which are faded in here: culinary, culture, nature, active sports, and city trips, and as well as 5 additional special themes, which can be selected from a predefined pool of them. Um, and this pool I'm going to send you for your further information as well, with a handout and the link of this video tape. Mm, so let's have a closer look how we the data in this area based on the question: in your opinion, to what extent is the following tourist destination in Germany suitable for the holiday activities below? We have the list of this 10 activities which you selected for your holiday activity and for your evaluation of the theme suitability, and then respondents answer on a scale from 1 not suitable at all to 5 very suitable at all. And here I'm going to show you an example of data preparation for this part. I'm sorry. Um, on the left, from top to bottom, you can see the 10 holiday activities that are considered for assessing the supported theme suitability for the example or sample destination. Above the dotted line are the 5 general themes, and below are the 5 special themes the destination had selected. And then um, you will see the results and values for the sample destination, which are the top 2 box values. So for each theme holiday activity, the top 2 values are then shown and compared with the values of the other holiday activities. And as a destination manager, you can then see from the graph that among all respondents, your destination is most considered suitable for the holiday activity enjoying nature and swimming and being at the beach and taking a city break, at least, for example. Yeah. So these values are prepared based on all respondents, but also for the subgroups interested in the topic or interested in the theme and visitors in the past as well. So you can see differentiation in this groups, in the subgroups, maybe in the results. Furthermore, and based on this question, and for all considered destinations, the number of cases in relation to the supported topic suitability is at least 1,000 respondents. So this generally allows us to make further detailed analysis. And with the framework of our standard target group analysis, the theme suitability of your destination is evaluated, differentiated according to up to 6 individually selected target groups as well. And the basis for the definition of the target groups can be socio-demographic criteria, the general interest in a holiday activity, or the combination of both. So the target group analysis is carried out for all 10 topics you selected for the theme suitability, for measuring the theme suitability of your destination. I show you an example of the results here for the topic enjoying culinary and gastronomic specialties. On the left, you can see the value for this topic on the basis of all respondents, which you know from the last slide. And now I'm fading in the results of the suitability of the sample destination for the selected 6 target groups. So you can see in this example that the highest topic suitability is found in the group interested in nature and being active, and the lowest topic suitability can be found in the group young people. Yeah. Mm, of course, this evaluation, as I already have mentioned, is carried out for all remaining 9 holiday activities for the respective destination. And in addition to the target group or standard target group analysis, we also carry out the target analysis or target group analysis of the Xenos milieus and the best as well. Xenos milieus are orientated at the lifestyle groups, and the best holiday maker types. This segmentation is based on the idea and benefit expectation of the German population, and thus serve to better understand the demands on the holiday and the customer-oriented interpretation of offer-related holiday topics, which was developed, as I already have mentioned, from the German Institute for Tourism Research. But also differentiations are included and will be prepared based on this question for you, so you can make differentiation and comparison for different sociodemographic criteria, age, sex, origin, but all origin based on the region of the source market, household income, or of course the level of education, to give you an example. And then within the third dimension, it is about the perception of the theme competence with other destinations. So we are doing a comparison of your results with those who are also participating in Destination Win 21. And we just have a look into this and I will explain you how we do this data comparison, or how we prepare the data comparison for you in the report as well. And this three-dimensional theme competence analysis is clearly summarized by means in the so-called analysis quadrant representation. What does it mean, or how is that how we prepare the data in this quadrant? The first dimension below the green topic is orientated to the first dimension, demand. It's the x-axis of the graph. The greater the general interest in the respective holiday activity is, the further to the right the topic is placed in the quadrant. Then we have the other dimension, the competition dimension, which you can see here on the y-axis of the graph. The better the destination performs in the competition comparison per holiday activity, the higher respective topic is placed in the quadrant as well. And then we have the third dimension from the offer side. The suitability of the topic is illustrated by the respective size of the topic circles. So what does it mean? I'll give you an example. I'm fading in the 10 selected, or the values, the results for the 10 selected holiday activities for the sample destination. Here you can see. So for all 10 topics are clearly summarized. Just I give you an example for the theme nature. The circle is in the upper right corner. What does it mean, or what does the position of this circle tell us? On the x-axis, orientated to the general interest potential of the theme, or for the theme, the circle is placed far to the right, which means that in general and independent of the destination, the interest in this holiday is relatively high. In addition, and with reference to the y-axis, we can see a ranking high up, which means that the example destination is placed high up among the destinations considered, which were also evaluated according to this theme. And then the size of the circle as a third dimension proves that there is a high supported theme suitability for nature for this example destination. So thus you can read here at a glance and for all 10 holiday activities, the status quo of your destination among all surveyed, all respondents. In addition to the brief destination-specific overview of the competitor analysis based on this analysis quadrant, the individual report of Destination 21 contains also detailed rankings per theme of all destinations surveyed or considered. So the individual report includes rankings for all 10 holiday activities for which the supported theme suitability of your destination brand is surveyed. And not only for the base of all respondents as well, also for the respected theme interested parties. And in the case of foreign destinations, from the point of view of those with an interest to travel abroad. Let's have a look. And this is what it looks like. In the report, the rankings contain the destination names and rankings of all destinations considered or examined. The underlying percentage values are shown exclusively for your destination of the respective individual report. So beside comparisons to all considered destination, the individual report in the source market Germany will also include a competitor analysis in one of the following additional categories like regions or small, medium-sized, large cities, or as well coastal destinations or low, high mountain regions, for example. So by type per theme, you will get also these additional rankings. Okay, so this is the end of the first part of the presentation of our basic module. Now we look into the additional module with reference to the COVID-19 impact. This, which is bookable additional to our basic module. What are the key facts? The methodology and the schedule is analog to the basic module. Target groups analysis are also included in this model and will be realized for you based on the 6 individual selected target groups as well, and also the sinus milieus and best holiday maker types segmentations or target group analyses can be booked additionally as well. But what are the contents of this module now? Focus is of course on the corona-related impacts. We are going to evaluate the general travel intention to travel abroad. And of course, the attitude shifts when choosing a destination in the future. And then we evaluate destination specific and for all participating destinations, the willingness to visit this destination in the short and medium term. So, and this is based on the same methodology of the brand value study, which we conducted last year. So time comparisons to last year are also possible and will be included in the report as well. But now have a closer look. To what questions do you get answer in this part, in this additional, or from this additional model? What is the general travel? What is the general domestic and international travel intention in the respective source market? This will be measured with regard to short holidays with 1 to 3 overnight stays, and also for longer holidays, 4 overnight stays and more within the next 12 months, and then also as well within the next 3 years. And then the second question is about to what extent has the attitude towards various aspects of travel of the respective source markets changed as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And therefore, for this part, I'd like to give you a further example how we prepare the data. This section deals with the question to what extent the respondents are going to focus on a total of 8 different general aspects of traveling in the future due to the coronavirus pandemic. For example, you can see it on the left on the slide, example for familiarity with the holiday region, the hygiene, the number of infections. So on this slide, you find an exemplary preparation of the data. on the possible attitude shifts in future destination selection. And as we have already conducted this question last year, a time comparison will be included in the report as well. Another part of this additional module is a second focus on the future willingness to visit your destination. Here, the question is, what is the willingness of the respective source market to visit your destination in terms of short breaks and longer holidays, and with both time periods within the next 12 months and the next 3 years? So based on this question, you will have an important indicator for assessing the potential of your destination and how and with which intention it will be visited in the future, or is in the mind of the consumers for a future visit within the next 12 months and within the next 3 years. The next or a third part of this additional model is about the impact of the corona virus on the visit interest of the respective source markets for your destination, again for within the next 12 months and the next 3 years. So have the interest of potential guests in visiting your destination decreased, increased, or remained the same? So above mentioned question provide a basic orientation on the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on the interest of the respective source markets in visiting your destination and all other considered destinations as well. Yeah, so this is the focus on the focus of the additional module. These are the contents of the additional model with the title COVID-19 impacts. We now switch to our info package, with the third module, which we are offering in this upcoming Survey Wave and Destination Brand 21. And this includes the presentation or includes the collecting of the media and language behavior in all 10 source markets, and this can be booked independently from other modules in Destination Brand 21. So, but now let's have a closer look. Methodology schedule is all the same like for the additional module and the basic module with regard to the measurement of the theme competence. This info package includes exclusively univariate analysis data on the basis of all respondents and on the basis of respondents with a pronounced intention to travel abroad. But what are the contents? We are going to select the information on the use of media and languages in the respective source markets for information and inspiration purposes in general. We have splitted the part A and part B. Part A is about the media behavior, where we are going to have a closer look right now. And then we switch to part B, which is about the language use. But now let's have a closer look at part A. Which questions are the focus of this part? In the first place, which and how often are different media used by the respective source market as sources of inspiration, to gaining inspiration, ideas, and impulses when searching for a possible destination abroad in the run-up to holiday trips? So here a total of around 10 general media, and in addition 5 individual social media channels are taken into account for the evaluation. In the handout you will get a first overview of the selected media for this part as well. And then as a second question, how relevant are different possible contents and forms of designs of information on touristic offers for the respective source markets in order to be optimally inspired when searching for possible destinations abroad, is the focus of the second investigation focus of part A of the info package. So here a total of approximately 25-30 different contents, for example, tradition and customs, possible activities and experience, special sites, but also forms of design with orientation to high information content or brevity and consciousness, various visual and auditory elements such as pictures and videos are considered to evaluate the possibilities, the importance of the content and science in the inspiration phase before choosing a holiday destination. The third question is the use of the media for the information part. So based on 10 medias, we are also asking which medias will be used to get information, specific information about accommodation, travel activities in the destination. So here we are choosing, or we are taking into account, as I've already mentioned, the 10 information media sources as well. Then we have the use of language. Here we are going to find out how the respondents of the respective source market do basically assess their current personal language skills in various relevant language. So for the following languages, or the following languages which are taking account are normally the national language of the respective source market. It's English and German as well, and then optionally one or two additional languages if relevant for the respective source market, or also for the participating destinations. And then secondly, we asked how often are the various relevant languages used by the respective source market to obtain information about possible destinations abroad in advance of a holiday trip. And then last but not least, how important is it for the respective source market to be able to communicate in the native language with tourism service providers, for example, in the tourist information office, in the restaurants, or in the hotels during a holiday trip abroad. So this together, all these three questions together gave an overview of the language use in the respective source markets. Okay, so here ends the presentation of the content. And finally, I will give you an overview of this year's opportunities of participation. And therefore, I would like to give you a first overview of the participation conditions, which you may have already seen in our documents. So our 10 source markets are divided into two groups, which you can see horizontally. On the left, from top to bottom, you will see the individual models listed. And then on the right, I will immediately show you the prices for the module per destination per source market. And the prices are shown in euro and do not include the watt. So these are the prices. If you are interested in participation, in a participation in Destination by 21, for example, to evaluate the theme competence of your destination in the source market Germany. So the price is about 3,500 euros. If you're also interested in the additional model, 2,500 euros additionally would you have to take into account for the evaluation as well. And info packages based on the source market or source markets you are interested in, starting from 1,500 euros per info packet per source market. But we are also, pardon. We are offering an advantage, of course, if you are interested in participating in two or more source markets. If you are interested in two source markets, we can also, of course, and will be happy to offer you a price reduction. In the case of a minimum of two source markets, the price reduction is about 5%. If you're interested in four source markets, we can offer a price reduction of 10% as well for the individual reports on the theme competence, and as well on the additional module. Some further information about the schedule, you can register for the participation by sending us the fulfilled and signed order form by September 30th. And we will, of course, be happy to help you to fill it out. From October to December, as I've already mentioned, the fieldwork takes place in all 10 source market, and we then deliver the complete report to you at the end of March 2022 by email and in a PDF format. But we will also send you like advanced extract, which is planned for the beginning of February 2022. There you will receive a primary extract with the univariate results of your destinations. Um, to give you a further insights or give you further information on how we prepare the data, beside the handout and the link to the video, I will, as I have mentioned, send you as well a sample report, and this for all modules to have you have further information on how we prepare the data and what you get for your investment as well. Okay, so here the presentation ends, and now of course we have time for your questions. So I'd like to ask this team if any question arises in the chat, or if I can answer any questions.
There has been one question whether we cover South Africa in our study as a destination.
As a destination, we can include South Africa if you are interested and like to have the data. Of course, we have already evaluated South Africa. I think it was in 2015. So if you are interested, I would like to double check it. It will get back to you afterwards with the information when and how, with which focus we have evaluated South Africa as a tourist destination, and then we can get into a discussion about it as well.
That was the only question.
Okay, good. Thank you, this team. So, okay, um, so the presentation ends, the event ends, yeah, and we have to finish here. As I've mentioned, we are sending you the information, the handout, the recording within the next days. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. It was a real pleasure having you here and to present to you Destination Brand 21. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and most important, stay safe and healthy, and goodbye to everyone.